ददामि द्वारतयेन मय्याकृतं सबपराधं क्षमतु मे भन्ते द्वितीयंपि ओकासवन्दामि भन्ते द्वारतयेन मय्याकृतं सबपराधं क्षमतु मे भन्ते तृतीयंपि ओकासवन्दामि भन्ते द्वारतयेन मय्याकृतं सबपराधं क्षमतु मे भन्ते। सर पंचशील की आजीवट्ठमग्गशील?
आजीवट्ठमग्गशील।
ओकास अहं भन्ते त्रिसरणेन सह आजीव अट्ठमग्गशीलं धम्मं याचामि अनुग्रहं कृत्वा शीलं देतमे भन्ते द्वितीयंपि ओकास अहं भन्ते त्रिसरणेन सह आजीव अट्ठमग्गशीलं धम्मं याचामि अनुग्रहं कृत्वा शीलं देतमे भन्ते तृतीयंपि ओकास अहं भन्ते त्रिसरणेन सह आजीव अट्ठमग्गशीलं धम्मं याचामि अनुग्रहं कृत्वा शीलं देतमे भन्ते।
या महावदामि तं वदेथा
आं भन्ते
नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धास्सा
नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि
Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami
द्वितीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि द्वितीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि द्वितीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि
Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami
तृतीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि तृतीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि तृतीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि
Tisarana Gamanam Paripurnam
आं भन्ते पाणा
Continue.
पानातिपाता वेरमणि Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinnadana veramani. Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu miccāchāra veramani. Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musāvācā veramani. Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Pisunavācā veramani. Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Parusavācā veramani. Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sampalappavācā veramani. Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Mitthājīvā veramani. Sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Idhamme punya
Idang me priyam
asavakaya
asavakhayam
vahang hodu.
vahang hotu.
Idhamme silang
Idang me silang
nibbanasa
nibbanasa
pachayo hodu.
pachayo hotu.
Tisarane na saha pancha ajiva dhammaga silang dhamma sadhukang gatawa apamadena sampadita.
Bhante sadhu sadhu sadhu.
Bante, formal request for Dhamma Deshna.
Okay.
Brahmacha Lokadipati Sampati Patanjali Andivaram Ayatata Kantidda Satta Parakajatika Desetu Dhammam Anukamping Mangpajang.
Okay, now you are stay in retreat periods. During these retreat periods, you accumulate many wholesome kusala merit. You are daily, you accumulate dana charity, you observe morality, 5%, ajiva dhammaga sila, 8%, and also you practice meditation, samatha bhavana, vipassana bhavana. So tonight, I'm prepared to give the Dhamma talk. My Dhamma talk is, why should we perform kusala, wholesome deed? Why should we accumulate wholesome deed? So before we start our talk, let's pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. I will translate the Namo Tassa kata into Myanmar versions, Myanmar translation. You can listen mindfully and respectfully. Arahato Tathaungaya Kilesa Yanduduma Kendo Mudaba Vitado Arahato Tathaungaya Kilesa Yandudugo Ando Mu Nando Mu Tado Mudaba Vitado Arahato Luminamin Yamamendo E Ludam Waya Jisi Libya Nindagwa Ayuadi Bujin Libya Bujin Miwe Jin Singa Chin Ango Ata Bujin Lugu Kando Mudaba Vitado Arahado Sigwaya Yanai Go Amuya No Amuya Say Muya Rupshin Makamu Mandamyango Budo Mamu Daba Vitado Yodo Mamu Daba Vitado Jansido Mamu Daba Vitado Bhagavado Isriya Dhammaya Sasiri Kamma Biada Midwen Bono Chaulini Yesundo Mu Daba Vitado Sama Sambuddhasa Dukkha Sajja Samudaya Sajja Magga Sajja Nirodha Sajja Husvado Sajja Leva Dogo Godo Dainale To Twin Yui Limin Domu Dabba Vitado Tassa Tati Sasa Nogaranda Le Mundai Wile Mayue Mayain Yosa Naingedo Kain Kano Dadi Go Nili Yezondo Mudaba Vitado To Bodo Joba the Kin Tabinu Yaswa Maya Amagan Diaho Bogo Diana Bogo Chicha Gondo Yona Napyanga Kandago Dunga Damo Ajano Dua Namo Yaho Diana Bian Kwaye Andere Genjin Holodo Diadomya E Araha Tapo Bo Abi Asondo Yauba Zijin Juma Kono Nalong Doma Bion Bio Mangolio Yue Adoyo Jo Lasso Moyue Shiko Man Shogado Jindi Atu Pawadu Sense Madri Chiba Zidadi Yaswa Paya Yaswa Paya Sandu Sandu Sandu. Why should we perform wholesome kusalatis? So now, in order to understand clearly, I will use the PowerPoint to explain his definition of wholesome kusalas. In Metta Sutta, Iti Uddaka Pali, the Buddha explains, Ma bhikkhave bhojnanam vayetha sukha siddham adivasana sukha siddham bhikkhave divachana ithasa kandasa piyasa manabasa yadidam punyani. The meaning is Ma bhikkhave bhojnanam vayetha. Bhikkhus, do not be afraid of doing wholesome kusala deeds. Sukha siddham bhikkhave adivasana Etasa kantasa piyasa manabasa yaridam punyani. Wholesome deed is a phrase to me happiness. Performing wholesome deeds is desirable, pleasant, dear to us, and delightful. Wholesomeness and peace usually come together hand in hand. For those who want to be peaceful and to be successful in everything they do, they must accumulate wholesome deeds. And for those who are already enjoying peace and success, their peace and success are surely supported by the wholesomeness they have accumulated in the past. Now, all of us are human beings. Our rebirth in the human world is supported by our past good karma. Without supported of past good karma, we cannot be reborn in a fortunate, happy race. Without supported by wholesome karma, we may not reborn in the good realms, good lives. Now we are a human because of supported by past life good karma. Because of supported by wholesome kusala deeds. Now we have opportunity to meet the Buddha Sasana, Buddha dispensation. We also have the chance to learn the Dhamma, to practice meditation. These all are related with the supported past life karmas. Because of this, the Buddha said, Ma bhikkhave punyanam bhayeta sukha siddham bhikkhave adivachana etasa kantasa piyasa manabasa yaridam punyani. Bhikkhus, do not be afraid of wholesome kusala deeds. Wholesome deed is a phrase to means happiness. Performing wholesome deed is desirable, pleasant, dear to us, and delightful. Before I go on to explain why should all accumulate wholesome merits, first of all, I would like to explain the definitions of wholesome deed kusala. So everybody, they know wholesome kusala. So we need to understand the definition. What is the definitions of kusala? What is the definitions of wholesome deeds? There are many definitions for wholesomeness kusalas. We will start with the definition by one Tipika Mahathera from Myanmar. In Myanmar language, wholesomeness kusala is called kudo. Kudo. So Myanmar use the Pali language, kusala, they say kudo, kudo. That's kudo is they say about the kusala. The Pali words they say kusala. But Myanmar people, they mention the kusala, they say that kudo. Kudo is combinations of ku and do. Ku and do. Kudo, kudo. Ku means can cures. Do means can be safe, can be stored up, can be saved up. It also means can be stored up. First, the word's could meaning can cure. Again, there are two meanings to the phrase can cure. One is what it is that can cure. Another is why it is that it can cure us. Recognize that. So many people have defilements. We have the defilements. That our defilements are like deceit. Because of the deceit of defilements, we suffer continuously in samsara. However, the power of kusala, wholesomeness, can eventually cure us of this deceit. Hence, we see one definition of ku, what it is that can cure. Kusala wholesomeness is that which can cure. Why it is that it can cure? It can cure us because the spotus of kusala wholesomeness, if we accumulate wholesome kamma. So this wholesome kusala can remove different kinds of defilements. So if you practice samatha, vipassana meditations, if your vipassana knowledge becomes mature, firstly, you may attain Sotapaddi fruition. These Sotapaddi fruitions can remove the defilements. Sakadagami fruition, Nagami fruition, Aratama fruition. So if you already attain Arahata fruitions, this Arahata mega can remove all defilements totally. Because it can remove all defilements totally, so you can free from all suffering in samsara. This is like being cured of deceit. Then we are free of the deceit, free from suffering. This is the other meaning of kus, why it can cure us. In addition, though, you see, can be saved up and stored up. Though from Myanmar was kudo. As defined earlier, though means can be saved up or can be stored up. The wholesome deeds we have already accumulated would leave an imprint in our mental process. They are like being stored up or saved into our mental process. All mental formations are impermanent. Thus, although we accumulate wholesome or unwholesome deeds, especially now we accumulate wholesome deeds. These wholesome deeds also because of formation, arising and perishing natures. These wholesome kusala accompanies minds stay constantly and very rapidly arising and perishing. Because wholesome or unwholesome all are formation. The nature of formations are impermanence, arising and perishing. Although these formation wholesome kusala are the nature of arising and perishing, before perishing, they produce kamma seed. We say kamma's force. These kamma seeds are stored up in our mental process. They have the potential to manifest. They manifest when the suitable condition come together any time in the future, any times in the future. These kamma seeds mature or ripen to give rise to kamma effects, kamma vibhaka. Kamma and kamma result I have already mentioned previous Dhamma talk. The creator of the kamma, the law of kammas. I have already mentioned. So these kamma seeds mature and ripen to give rise to kamma's effects, kamma vibhaka. The maturing or ripening can happen any times until we attain parinibbana. Some kamma can be good result in present. Some are the second life in future. Some are the third life to until before attain parinibbana. These kamma can be good result. Therefore, we see that kud in do means it can cure the disease of defilements. We also see that do. Kudo means it can be stored up, and do is Nama words for kusala, and kusala wholesome is something that can be stored up to cure the disease of defilements. Thus, we have the first definition for kusala. After looking at the Myanmar definitions, next we will look at Pali definition. If we examine the term kusala in details, we will find many definitions given in the Pali commentaries. I will quote two of explanation. You can see this definition of kusala in the Dhammasara commentary. They have many definitions of kusala. So I will only explain two definitions of kusala. There are many Pali definitions of kusala. These are given in the commentaries. Commentary on Dhamma are given by Asian masters, mainly arahants and teachers. For this talk, I will explain only two definitions of kusala. Firstly, kusala is a combination of ku and sala. The Dhammasara commentary explained it this way. Kochite papake dhamme salayanti chalayanti kampendi vedansedi kusala. Here goes. Kochite papake dhamme. Good and kochite papake dhamme means the Dhamma that is bad, repulsive, and of the natures that attracts contempt. We can understand this at the unwholesome stage, the defilement stage of mind. Sala refers to salayanti, chalayanti, salayanti, chalayanti, salayanti, kampendi, salayanti, vedansinti. So sala and salayandit and chalayandit mean to shake or cause to tremble. To shake or cause to tremble. Here it means the sensual spirit wholesome deed. We can say kamma vachara kusala. Cause defilement stage of mind to shake or tremble for short moments. Let me give you some example. When we are perform wholesome deeds, when we accumulate wholesome deeds, such as making an offering, charity, taking precept, now you are taking Ajiva Tamaka Sila, providing service for the monastery, extra. You practice meditation, Metta Bhavana, Anapana meditations, 4 elements meditation, many kinds of wholesome. When we are performing such wholesome action, the defilement stage of mind are temporarily separate. Now you are listening to Dhamma talk. If you pay attention in the Dhamma talk, in this stage, the defilements stage of mind are temporarily separate, can remove temporarily. This is called salayanti chalayanti. The next Pali word, Chalayanti Kampanti. Chalayanti Kampanti also means to shake or to be disturbed. However, here it refers to Rupavachara and Arupavachara kusala, 5 material spirit and immaterial spirit wholesome deeds. Specifically, it means Rupavachara jhana, first to 4 jhana. Now, if you practice Anapana meditation, you may attain 1st jhana to 4th jhana. And the Arupavachara jhana, if you practice Kasina meditation, you may attain 5th to 8th attainments. The jhana mind are all wholesome mind state. This jhana also wholesome mind. If you study Abhidhamma, you may understand in Abhidhamma they are mentioned about the jhana. This jhana mind all are wholesome mind states. So for a meditator who can stay in one of these attainments for long periods of times, this jhana kusala can help him to shake off or temporarily remove the defilement stage of mind, that periods of times when he is in jhana. For example, if you can enter the jhana 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour extra, during these periods, these defilements can be removed by the power of this jhana wholesome kusala. Due to the higher qualities of the kusala here, it can shade and separate defilements for long periods of time. That is called kamma. In ancient times, Samatera, you can read in the Palidas or commentary. So because of the power of their meditation practice, within 60 years, one Mahatera, Mahanagatera, in Nimalawa monastery, Asian the Sri Lanka, this Mahatera, within 60 years, defilements never arise in his mind. Because of this, he thought that he already attained arahantship. Actually, he not yet attained arahantship. Because of the power of samatha and vipassana, the defilements can remove quite long periods. Later only because of reminded by his disciples, Dhamma Thera. So at the time only, he realized that he not yet attained arahantship. After that, he continued to practice vipassana meditation. He attained arahantship. The meaning is this: wholesome rupavachara arupavachara jhana can remove defilements for a long period of time. It is called kamma. Chalayanti kamma. The last Pali was Chalayanti Vedansanti. Chalayanti Vedansanti kusala. Chalayanti Vedansanti means to permanently remove or eradicate all the unwholesome, repulsive Dhamma. Unwholesome is very repulsive stage. These some wholesome kusala, these Vedansanti, the meanings of Vedansanti, to permanently remove or eradicate all these wholesome, repulsive Dhamma. This is achieved through supermundane wholesome kusala, Lokuttara kusala deeds. Specifically, this refers to noble path, Ariya Mega. Ariya Mega of Sotapatti, Anagami, and Arahant. At reach noble path moment, specifying defilements are completely uprooted. These defilements are not momentary or temporary, not a moment, shaken or separate. These respective defilements are completely and permanently eradicate. Because of these, kusala means ku and salat. Ku and salat. Good, wholesome deeds are that which can shake or separate and wholesome or defilement states momentary for a period of time or to remove permanently. This is the first definition of kusala. You can see, like the medicine, some medicines can cure some kinds of the defilement, some kinds of disease just a moment. Just can reduce some the disease only. But some medicine can cure the disease totally. In the same way, these three types of wholesome kusala, kamma vachara kusala, mahagata rubavachara, arubavachara kusala, lakuttara kusala, three groups of kusala can remove defilements by their way. Kamma vachara kusala, like you do dana, charity, sila, morality, listen to Dhamma, practice the meditation, can remove a moment of defilements. If you already attain the jhana, can remove defilements for long periods. If you already attain, so the noble person, this Ariya Magga can remove the defilements totally. That's the meaning of kusala. The second definition of the word kusala. The first definition is ku and sala. The second definition is divided to split the word into kusa and la. The first definition is ku and sala. The second definition divided kusa and la. The Dhammasara commentary explains in this way. Kochi de nawa akarena sayanti di kusa de akusala sankha de kuse lunandi chendandi di kusala kusa la kusa and la. The first definition is ku and sala, now kusa and la. So kusa refers to the repulsive or unwholesome qualities that is of the natures to stay or to lie in the mind of beings. So these defilements exist in our minds. Repulsive or unwholesome quality. This defilement is not the good quality, repulsive quality. That is of the nature to stay or to lie in the mind of beings. La refers to lunandi chainandidi. Lunandi chainandidi, to cut off or to remove. They describe the qualities of kusala wholesome deed as wholesome deed can cut off and remove such unwholesome states that lie inside the mind of beings. This is the second definition of kusala. Kusala. Quality of kusala as wholesome deed can cut off and remove such unwholesome states that lie inside the mind of beings. Now you already understand what's the meaning of kusalat. Let me now explain why we should all accumulate kusala, wholesome deed. Now many people accumulate wholesome kamma. Now during the retreat periods, you accumulate many wholesome kusala. So you need to know why we accumulate wholesome kusala. Why should we accumulate wholesome kusala? Nowadays, Many people are doing wholesome deed with different motivation, different reason, with different motivation according to their own individual desires. Some wish for wealth, some wish for beauty, some wish for good health. Now, during Corona pandemic, the disease periods, many people have a lot of suffering. Some are to reduce their stress, some are to recover from their disease. There are many reasons to accumulate wholesome kusala. Some wish for wealth, some wish for beauty. Many different motivations behind their wholesome deeds. Let me tell you a story to illustrate this. This is a story about Visakha, one of the main female tiger of the Buddha. In the Buddha time, Visakha, female devotee, she is very famous. She already attained Sotapanna since 7 years old. She also very helpful for Buddha Sasana in Buddha time. At the times of the Buddha, Visakha, one of the main female lay supporters of the Buddha, together with 500 of our female companions, visited Chitavana monastery. There, they saw many people of different age gather in the monastery, Chitavana monastery, to undertake the practice of the precept or modality. Visakha and her companies were curious, and they asked the different groups for their reason for going to the monastery to observe precept silat. At the end, they learned that. So Visakha asked, why do you take precept? And also I can ask to you, why do you listen to the Dhamma talk? Why do you practice the meditation during meditation retreat? Okay, different people may answer different reason, I think. Here, Visakha also asking to different female devotees who are observing morality in the Chitavana monastery. Why do you take precept? At the end, they learn that the older person wishes to be reborn in heaven. I want to be reborn in the heaven. Because of this, I'm observing morality in this Chitavana monastery. They answer like that. The second group, middle-aged lady, after asking the question, they replied that. The middle-aged lady, they wishes not to have to share their husband with other women. We don't want to share our husband with other women. So at the time in India, I think it is common for a man to marry more than one wife and then. Now in India, impossible and then. Some religion people, they can marry about 4 women at least. So here, after asking the question, they reply that. So they don't want to share their husband with other women. Because of these reasons, they come to observe morality. So the reason is the lady were wishing that they did not need to share their husband with others, and that their husband would only have them as the only wife. That's their reason to observe morality in Chitavana monastery. So another group, the third group of female devotee who observe morality in Chitavana monastery, Visakha curious, asking, okay, At the time they replied that some other married lady wish that their first child would be male. So now this is also very important. And then, if they got the daughter and then very big duty, Mister, is it true or not? They have money responsibility for their daughter and in India. Is it true or not?
Yeah.
Okay, the son, daughter, not same.
Yes,
Same or not? Some I heard that. Okay, if they have the two daughter, the father become very headache. Why headache? And they got married, they have money responsibility and then for their daughter.
Yes,
Okay, because of this, the third group or the female devotee, they wish us that their first child will be male. So the youngest group, Visakha, and their devotee group, they curious again. At the time, for a younger group, they were wishing to be married while still at the young age. Wishing to be married while still at young age. They also have the reason, as it was more difficult than to choose accompanies at an old age. Mister, is it true or not? If you are still young, you have more chance.
Yes,
For the girl, more chance. So they have different idea, you see. You can see they were all at the same Jetavana monastery and had taken the same wholesome deed, observing morality sila. However, they were all there with different intention and motivations. Now all our listeners also may have the different reason to listen to the Dhamma or to practice meditation. Say, many female devotees who observed morality in Jetavana monastery Buddha time, they were also the different reason to observe the morality. Now you can see. Even for the same kusala actions, different peoples performing them may do so with different intentions. However, here they were all motivated by worldly reason. All their reason are related with the worldly reason. And these are always that are rooted in desire and therefore still related to reborn in the samsara. That's called Vata Nisita Kusala. There are two types of wholesome kusala. Some are they have intention to reborn in the samsara, to become rich person. Just their wholesome kusala deed, their reason is to be beautiful. Only these are related with the round of rebirth. When these kusala action bear fruit, although they have desire to be good lives, and to be beauty, although they have the different reason, such type of the related samsara, these kusala action bear fruits. They will continue to suffer in the samsara. Okay, you can see in Buddha time also have some people because of their past life aspiration. Some they have the aspiration to reborn in the samsara to become a rich person. They become rich person. Some are only they have intention to realize nibbana. Because of this, for example, if you do dana, if you make aspiration to realize nibbana, this dana also may be good result to be rich family, to be superior condition. Although you not make aspiration, this dana can give this good result. But if you make aspiration to realize nibbana, also you can, these wholesome kusala merits can be the cause to attain nibbana. So you can see our Bodhisattva, since he started to fulfill the perfection under the Divinara Buddha, his intention is to be all these wholesome parami are the cause to realize Buddhahood. Only this is intention. So although he only made attention for Sabanyuda Jnana, so in the samsara, this dana charity can make many good results. Until now, we need to make puja to the Buddha. These are because of his dana charity, his sila morality he fulfilled within 4 aeon and 100,000 words. So many wholesome kusala gave the different result. Also because of his intention to be Buddhahood. These perfection, wholesome kamma also can support him to be Buddhahood. So because of this, we need to understand about this. Now you are listening to the Dhamma talk, you accumulate many wholesome kusala, you practice meditation, you do the charity, social good activity. So all wholesome kusala accumulate. When you accumulate at the time, you need to make aspiration. These must be the cause to attain nibbana. That is called vata, vivata, nesita, kusala. So now you can see these all 4 groups of the lady. They only made aspiration related with the samsara. Different reasons, different motivations. Okay. Although they made aspiration, they may have the result. Although they have the result, these are related with the samsara, although they have the benefit, they still may be reborn in the samsara again and again. They still have to suffer again and again. So because of this, tonight I would like to share with all of you, instead of the worldly reason, state above, the more important motivation that everyone should adopt for doing wholesome deeds. This will be command and should apply to everyone, in spite of our individual preference. I want to share with you the right reason for accumulating wholesome deed in order to eventually be free from bondage of samsara and to ultimately see an end of suffering. These 4 reasons were given by the Buddha to Rathabala, Venerable Rathabala. Venerable Rathabala in the Sanyutta Nikaya, Minjima Nikaya, Chattaro Dhammodesa. These 4 summary of the Dhamma, Chattaro Dhammodesa, are found in Rathabala Sutta, Minjima Nikaya. The first reasons to accumulate wholesome deed is to be free from suffering. To be free from suffering samsara. The Buddha said, Upaniyati logo aduvo. The first reason to accumulate good wholesome deed is life in any world is unstable. It is being swept away. It is being swept away towards aging and death. In the Dhammacakkappavana Sutta, the first sermon Sutta, the Buddha explained the first noble truth. The noble truth of suffering, dukkha, riya, sajja. Jatipi dukkha, jarapi dukkha, yatipi dukkha, maranampi dukkha, abhiye sambhyogo dukkha, piye vibhyogo dukkha, yampecham, nalabhati tampi dukkha, sankhedena, panchu badana khanda dukkha. The meaning is, birth is suffering, aging is suffering, illness is suffering, death is suffering. Now coronavirus disease also suffering. Many people suffering the whole world. Association with virus displacement is suffering. Separation from virus pleasant is suffering. Not to get what one wants is suffering. In brief, the 5 aggregate subjects to clinging are sufferings. We do not wish. We do not wish to age, but we cannot free from aging. We do not wish to be sick. We cannot be free from sickness. We do not wish to die, but we cannot be free from death. Due to craving, we will be reborn again and again. We will be reborn again and again. Huh? So, we cannot free from samsara. Even if we do not want to, we cannot avoid associating with those we do not like. We cannot avoid being separated from those dear and pleasant, and we cannot always get what we want. All these conditions give rise to suffering. In short, we will always be subject to suffering as long as we have the five clinging aggregates, as long as we are in samsara. Because now we are in samsara, everybody had different people, different suffering. We cannot avoid, even the Buddha. In order to free from suffering, we need to perform wholesome deeds to accumulate merit. This should be our first wise reason to free ourselves from the great mass of sufferings. The second reason for accumulating wholesome kusala deeds is look for the real shelter and truth refuge from all the sickness and suffering that afflicts us. So the Buddha said, Adano logo anavisaro. Life in any world has no shelter, no protector. No one is able to provide us shelter or to console us with refuge. We may be able to protect ourselves or to find shelter from the enemies of fires, the enemies of waters, or the enemies that attack our countries. Even if we are attacked by the enemies of fire and water, and even all our country are destroyed by the enemies, armies of the enemies, with the help of our friends and our relatives, we may be able to save some property from the destructions of these worldly enemies. However, when we are faced with the enemies of agents, enemies of sickness, enemies of death, enemies of rebirth, we are totally helpless. No relative and friends can save us from these enemies. We cannot see any shelter or refuge from these enemies other than through the practice and accumulate of wholesome deeds. Therefore, the Buddha admonished that Adano logo, ati adano nati, adahi adano nato. Adahi adano nato means only we ourselves are our own refuge. We ourselves are our own refuge. Nobody else can provide shelter or refuge for us to free from the samsara. We need to accumulate wholesome kusala by ourselves to free from samsara, to free from the defilements. So we can explain only to remove defilements. We need to practice individually by ourselves. One Tipika Mathera from Myanmar said that our defilements kilesa will increasing, become more as we grow older. When we are very young, we only understand that we need to eat and sleep. As we grow older, we begin to enjoy more sexual pleasure. Our desire and attachment grow. The older we get, the more defilements we have. In order to reduce our defilements, to save our from the kilesa, to free from suffering, we need to accumulate kusala, wholesome kusala deeds, such as dana, sila, bhavana, generosity, morality, and mental cultivation, or samatha and vipassana meditation practice. Otherwise, we will be reborn again and again and continuously subject to aging, sick, and death in the endless samsara. Hence, to find a shelter and to seek a refuge from these defilements of suffering, we should accumulate wholesome kusala merits. So, the second reason for us to accumulate wholesome deeds is to find a shelter, to seek a refuge from these defilements. And that is the second reason why should we accumulate wholesome kusala deeds. The third reason why we should accumulate wholesome deeds is because of nothing else is worth accumulating. All the worldly, material, or intangible gain are worthless when we die. The Buddha said. The Buddha said, Adano asako logo sabam bahaya kamaniya. Asako logo, life in any world has nothing of its own. One has to live or and pass on. Here the Buddha explained that nothing other than kusala kamma, which we have already accumulated. All material possession and individual, intangible worldly gain are of no real worth to us when we die. When we die, we have to relinquish all our properties, our money, our house, wife, husband, children, all material property, fame, power from authority, everything we have accumulated in this life, we have to relinquish all before we die. We cannot bring along any of these to next life, even if we have worked very hard and tired to gather as much wealth and property as possible in this life. Even if we have a lot of son, daughter, relative, friends, all we must let go at the point of death. We cannot carry with us to the next lives. I want to give you one example. One example. Very wise old man to his family members. When he died, he said that when I die, and when you put me into the coffin, please place my hand rise up, high above the coffin. Why did he give this instruction? He wanted to use his death to convey a very important and wise message to all his relatives and friends. He wanted them to see and understand that when we die, we carry only our empty hand into the coffin. Is it true or not? Is it true?
Yes, Bhante.
Nothing else. Is it true? No, you see, during Corona pandemic disease, many people die. They cannot carry. They can carry only their hand. You want to give this message in our Myanmar country, Asian time. One layman, he gave the message to people by this way. He wanted them to see and understand that when we die, we carry only our empty hand into the coffins. Nothing else we can carry with us into the coffins. No house, no car, no property, although you accumulate a lot, although you search a lot of property, although you trying to associate with many people, relatives, friends, all nothings. We carry nothing with us into the coffins when we die. So he want to give the message that we were born empty-handed and we die empty-handed. Because of this, he gave the message. He mentioned his family member to do by this way. So we must have acquire a lot of business interest, fame, and high reputation, or powerful authority, we identify ourselves with them and grow strong attached toward them. This is my business, this is my reputation, this is my authority. People forgot. People forgot to die. People forgot to die. However, we matter how much we try to be possessed of our belongings. They all remain in the house when we die. For bhikkhu, we are bhikkhu. All the requisite accumulated are left behind. Now we stay with the big monastery. We need to do a lot of duty for the monastery. So all we need to leave in the monastery, we need to leave behind in the monastery only. Nothing we can carry with us when we pass away. Sometimes husbands and wife, they have a lot of attachment to each other. Girlfriend, boyfriend, boy and girl, father and mother, between the relative, they have a lot of attachment to each other. They do not want to be separate. But whether they want or do not want, one day they will be separate by death. After you pass away, you need to separate to every person. Remember, even though our family, friend, relative, and follower love us very much, they cannot really help us when we die. Sure, they may sorrow our death, they may cry when we are dying. Some may follow our dead body to the cemetery, for cremations. You see, a lot of urgency during coronavirus disease periods, many people die. Because of a lot of disease, even many relatives cannot follow that disease, coronavirus, not to separate to each other. Even not sure to follow to the cemetery. You see? So, there they may cry, much or little, in the cemetery after we pass away. That is all. After that, they all return to their respective home. They regain and pleasure their respective sexual pleasure. Sooner or later, they forgot us. Is it true or not? They may forgot.
Yes,
So they may forgot. At the beginning, they may cry. They may have a lot of. They may have the sad. So later they may forgot. Not a single one of them will follow us the next life, no matter how loving or devout. What will follow us the next lives? What can support us their own? Only kusala kamma. Kusala kamma gain from performing wholesome deeds. Performing wholesome deeds. These are the wholesome deeds to support you in your future life in samsara. Offering dana generously, this will support you to be reborn in the worthy families. Maintain sila, morality. They will support you to have good health, and long life. And the samsara, if you still need to reborn in the samsara, you need to accumulate a lot of morality. This morality will support you to be good health and long life. Practice bhavana, samatha, vipassana, meditation. This will support you to understand the Four Noble Truths. You can then walk the path smoothly to put the end all suffering. Therefore, these good wholesome deeds are very beneficial for us. These are only things worthwhile accumulating for our future life. This is the third reason why we should accumulate wholesome deeds. The four reasons and the last reason. The four reason for accumulation of wholesome deeds. The Buddha said, Uno logo adeto danadaso. The meaning is, life in any world is incomplete, insatiate, cannot be satisfied, a slave to cravings. This full summary tells us that performing wholesome deed is really to help us remove craving. Remove craving in order to reach the end of suffering. Craving creates many necessary in our lives. Because of craving, many otherwise unnecessary things become really necessary. There's no end to our craving and desire. Is it true or not? It is not possible to fulfill and to be satisfied the never-ending desire generated by craving. Because of the craving, we have many desires. Craving causes us to keep wanting to possess new things. If we have one house, we want another house. If we have one piece of land, we want another piece of land. If we have one wife, enough or not? Some not enough, mister?
Yes,
Still need
Bhante.
another wife. Although already have one wife, still need another wife. Is it true or not?
Yeah.
These all are because of the craving. We are all slave of our craving. We follow every desire of craving. Craving commands us to blindly chase after many unnecessary things. But no matter how hard we try, we cannot fulfill our desire. Can you fulfill or not? We cannot fulfill. We cannot find the end to our desire. We cannot find the end of our desire. So I would like to share a story from Jatagat. Jatagat's story. In one of his previous lives, our Bodhisattva was a king. Our Bodhisattva was a king, a very powerful king. He took his meal from golden bowls. His food were very special and very delicious. Many beautiful maidens entertained him while he ate in his grand palace. Many people laughed together to see the king enjoying his food, along with all the splendid accompaniments. They all remarked that the king must have accumulated very good punya, great merits in previous lives. Thus, could he now enjoy himself so fully? One day, a hungry man went to the palace. He wanted to also enjoy the king's food and entertainments. However, the palace was very crowded. There are many people. And there were many security guards at the palace gate. So, in order to get the king in his dining rooms, the clever man shouted loudly, "I am invited. I am an invite." Thinking that he was an invite of a neighboring country. Everyone made way for him because he said that he was an invite. Even the security guard let him through. When he got to the dining room, the king asked him, "Which country do you represent? Who do you represent?" So the hungry man answered, "Your Majesty, I am the invite of my stomach. I am the invite of my craving." Mister, is it true or not? He said that.
Yes,
I'm
Bhante.
here. to solve my stomach and my craving. They want me to share some of your good food. So the king was surprised by the man's wise replies. He thought to himself, how true, how true. We are all in wine of our stomach. Mr. True or not? We are in wine of our stomach. Although you don't want to walk, you need to take care of your stomach. We are all in wine of our craving. Thus amused, the king shared his food with the hungry man. Because of Bodhisattva, he was very understanding, a lot of loving kindness. So indeed, we are all in wines of our craving, being sent out towards all direction, all the times, quality item to satisfy our craving. But we cannot finish meeting the restless demand of our craving. So we become the slave to our cravings. Due to bhavanika lobha, the desires and attachment of the life, desire and attachment to life, we continue to seek rebirth because of which are ignorance, because of upadana, tanha, craving. We continue to suffer in the realm of samsara. We cannot reach the end of suffering. In the present life, we suffer due to the incessant cravings. This craving also causes us to continue to suffer in future lives. Therefore, we should free ourselves from the oppressions of craving. To be free from craving, we need to accumulate good, wholesome deeds. In this present life, it is possible to completely abandon and eradicate craving through the attainment of Arahata Magga, Arahant path knowledge. This is the fourth and final reason I would like to share with you today on why we should accumulate wholesome deeds. Let us quickly repeat that the four reasons why should we perform wholesome kusala deeds. Firstly, to be free from suffering, in order to free from suffering. Secondly, to find a real shelter and truth refuge from the suffering. Thirdly, good wholesome deeds are the only things worth accumulating for our benefits. Lastly, to remove and eradicate craving, which is the root cause for our endless suffering in the realm of rebirth samsara. Remember, our life is very short. We can die at any moment. Now you can see in present, some people, although they stay young, anytime they can die. We also say we don't know. Tonight we may even die. We cannot be sure which can come earlier, tomorrow or the next lives. So the Buddha said to the King Kosala, the Buddha said this was, Jividam Vyandi Kalocha Deha Neke Panangadi Panchade Jiva Loka Same Ani Medam Nanayare. At present, we cannot know 5 things regarding our death. What 5? Jividam. Jividam means we do not know at what age we die. Vyadi, we do not know what sickness will cause us to die. Kalo, we do not know at what time we will die. Deha Nekipana, we do not know where our body will be cremated Kati, we do not know which realms we will be reborn in. It is because of this uncertainty about that you should have a sense of urgency in your life. In the commentary to the Tiskuna Jataka, the Buddha admonished King Kosala. In that three-birth Jataka, Buddha urged the king to have a sense of urgency. He said, Maharaja, ime sinyi sadhana, mechuna singonati, lanjaga ho nawe jadi, yodanati jayonati, sabe mechu parayana. The meaning is, great kings, in the case of man, no trouble can move relentless death. No kindness mollifies. No one is fight can vanish death, for all are doomed. When we come face to face with the king of death, we have no choice. We have to accept to him without fear. There's no negotiation. We cannot make any prior appointments. We cannot make any earlier appointment with the kings of death to let us die at the particular times, to come for us only when we are ready. Even the Buddha, I have many disciples to teach Dhamma, even this. Even the Buddha, he cannot make any appointment with the king of death. So to come for us only when we are ready, to let us enjoy ourselves sufficiently fast, to let us finish our money duty to our family, business, job, etc. Possible no. So we cannot make any appointment with the kings of death. And also we cannot offer present gift or brother to the kings of death to avoid or delay his arrival to cut us down. And even we were to combine, okay, now by the soft way, we cannot make negotiation, we cannot discuss with the king of death. So we will combine all the army in the India, China, US, UK, they have a lot of nuclear weapons. We will combine all of the armies and weapons of the whole world to fight the king of death. Mister, possible or not?
Yes,
possible or not? You can combine, no? They frighten many countries, each other with a nuclear weapon, North Korea. Is it true or not? So, although you combine with the many army, with a very powerful nuclear weapons, so we cannot fight. We cannot fight the king of death. We do not stand a chance against him. We will defeat. He will defeat us when the time comes. He used 3 weapons only. Although you can combine many powerful weapons, he will use only 3 intangible weapons. What kinds of weapons? The weapon of nature, the weapon of dukkha, the weapon of anatta, to defeat everyone in his path. I don't care, although you have nuclear, I only use these 3 types of weapon. The king of death will say to me like that. It does not matter how powerful or proud we are, he will defeat us for sure. And when we depart to another world, except for our own wholesome deeds, we have no other sure refuge. We must abandon all our property, business, family, servant, fame, and reputation. We must not be proud of our property, business, family, fame, and reputation. And we must not be heedless. Instead, we must honestly accumulate good wholesome deeds while we are still alive. Now you have a very good chance Many people die during this coronavirus period. You see, you are very lucky. You still have the chance to accumulate a lot of wholesome karma. Now we have the precious opportunity to accumulate wholesome deed. We have the human existence. We are Buddhists and we have taken refuge in the traditions. The Buddha's sasana is still remain, still exists, and the true Dhamma still easily can learn, can study, can practice. If we hesitate this opportunity, we may miss this precious chance. So, stride on with diligence and accumulate wholesome kusala honestly. Need to practice the dana generously, sila morality, bhavana, samatha, and vipassana meditation. So, I want to make the wishes that may all the wholesome deeds you have accumulated and all the wholesome deeds you are going to accumulate be supporting condition for you to free from suffering. May you find shelter and refuge from the restless afflictions and suffering. May your wholesome deed give rise to good result in your future path and be fortunate for the Dhamma practice. May you fully eradicate and remove all cravings, make an end to the wrong or rebirth in samsara. May you realize the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this very life. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Okay.
Very well explained, Bante.
Okay. Any question?
Okay. You can take few questions.
Few question. Okay.
कोणाला प्रश्न असतील तर विचारू शकता.
Are you tired? A little bit. Lot of information, but if not finished, next we need to continue. Not to continue and try to finish only one talk.
Yes, Bante. Sure. The information given is not known to us also. So it is very useful because we know only kusala kamma, but the meaning of kusala we are not aware. But you are given.
To understand and give complete information about wholesome kusala.
Yes. कोणाचा प्रश्न असेल तर हा इंटरेस्ट करा. Bante, briefly explain Lokottar Kusala.
Sorry?
Lokottar Kusala.
Lokottara kusala.
Yes.
Lokottara kusala means now if you practice a vipassana meditation. Now we practice samatha and vipassana. Okay? This samatha meditation can attain the jhana. If you practice vipassana meditation, you may attain Sotapatti Sakadagami. Okay. If you already attain the Sotapatti Sakadagami, so this kusala is called Lokottara kusala. Okay. Sotapatti, Mega Cheta, Sakadagami, Mega Cheta. That's all kusala.
Okay.
Lokottara.
Bante, I need to share only one information regarding donation from our group. 200 achievers donated to Ven Sayadaw Ji. So just for information, can we have a invitation for blessings, Ven Sayadaw?
Okay.
Can you arrange blessings from Ven Sayadaw Ji?
Blessing from Ven Sayadaw Ji means that's you can tell Mr. Dipa. Okay,
Yeah.
we have contact with their Pandit.
Yeah. कोणाचे प्रश्न आहेत का?
No question आते हैं, हाँ?
Look so बनते questions. So blessings बनते.
Okay, okay, huh? Okay. So now, today you have already accumulated many wholesome kusala merits, dana, charity, sila, morality, listen to the mantra, practice the meditation. Huh? We are which are for the mantra, many volunteer service also already accumulated. May these wholesome kusala merits be the main cause to attain nibbana. Huh? So now I will make the conclusion and the mantra by reciting Jaya Mangala Gatha for blessing to all listeners. In order to free from suffering, in order to achieve the mega phala and nibbana. Jayando bodhiya mule sajjananandi vadano Ewa mewa jayo du jayasu jaya mangale Sajjana sagiwe memyodo i Nandi vadano sinalungu shrimpyo zeta dayamyati Bodhiya bodhi be i Mule nita kwen pshati aparajita palentanai Jayando manga bhago ao mili bitagendo Ewa mewa ewan tata pamanta yuto adu Edo maga ao sedi myodo takin payashin Jile nyunu shivu banja Nimbrita bong duro gondu a Chayo Jade ken ken piso nya jindi Hotu mocha madwe pipavi i Chaya mangali Piya shong kwa ao yen shinga mingala jao Edo maga ao sedi myodo takin payashin bo Jile nyunu shivu banja Nimbrita bong duro gondu a Jaya su jadirago nizindu yue Kaunju pisi Omni nainja vasi kondadi Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu
Sadhu,
To
sadhu.
share and merit all of your family. Idam me punya
Idam me punyang
Asava kaya
asava khayam
Vaha hotu
vahang hotu.
Idam me punya
Idam me punyang
Nibbanasa
nibbanasa
Pachayo
pachayo
Hotu
hotu.
Mama Punya Bhagam
Mama punya bhaga
Sabba Sadana
sabba sandranam
Pachimi
bhajemi
Tesabe
mesabbe
Mesama
mesamma
Punya Bhagam
punya bhaga
Labandu
vantu.
Sadhu Sadhu
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sukhi Hotu Nibbana Pacho Hotu
Thank you very much, Bante, from all meditators.
Sadhu Sukhi Hotu. Okay, now you can relax, You can relax by mindfully with the meditation.
Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu.
तो ठीक है प्रवचन संपलेलं आहे क्लोज करत आहे